Okay, so the first section, obviously we were doing classification, right? We need to be able to call these certain things, find a degree, standard form, leading coefficient, and then classify them. Now, we're going to add and subtract. First I'm going to start with monomials, and then we're going to go to polynomials. What's the difference between a monomial and a polynomial?
Polynomials has 4 or above, and monomials.
Depending on the terms, right. Okay, so if we're looking at this problem, the very first thing we're going to do is put it in standard form, which means descending order of exponents. Doesn't matter about the variables. Now notice this one's actually monomial because they're all m's. There's no other varying variables. Yes. So 3, 2, 3. So that means we're going to list these two 3's together and then m2. Any questions so far?
No.
These are similar to each other, right? M to the third, m to the third. So that means we can add these two together. 15 plus 2 is 17. There's nothing to add here. Okay? One more time. Yes. If the variable is the same and the exponent, the power is the same, you can add and subtract. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. So 15 and 2, 17. This is done. We can't simplify this any lower because the powers are different. Okay? So let me see thumbs up or down on this, please. Okay. Let's go to this next one. So we have a little bit going on here, right? We've got 2 x's and a 12, but notice the x's, so the power of 2, right?
Yes.
And then there's something that's different that happens here, this 5. So we can combine these constants and we can combine those two x to the power of 2. Okay? So first thing, on every single problem, you're going to put it in standard form. Okay? So we're going to list the 3x2 and the minus 7x2, and then we're going to have the 5 and 12. Any questions on what I did here, standard form? Does it matter what direction the 5 and 12 go?
No.
It doesn't. The only thing you want to be careful of, don't change signs. What do I mean by that?
Okay.
If this is minus 5, it's going to be minus 5 right there. Okay? So that subtraction or addition carries over. Okay, so we're going to group these two together, and then we're going to group the numbers together. Then we're going to add. So we're 3 minus 7 minus 4, and then 5 and 2 is 17. Right? Any questions? Let me see thumbs up or down on this one. Okay. Easy so far, right? Okay, let's go to C. Nothing special here, they're just decimals. Okay? So this one's 5, 5, 5, 5. However, the variables are different, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to group our variables. 95y, 4y, y5, and then 5x to the 5th. So all I did was take the y's, put them in order. They're all 5, so that means we can add these together. Okay? Then our last one's kind of the Lone Ranger here. It's all by itself. It's x5. That one's going to stay by itself. So we're going to add this. 0.9 minus 0.4 plus 1. Right? Why is this plus 1?
There's a 1.
There's a value of at least 1 in front of the variable. So that's 1.9.4, but minus. So our answer is 1.5y, and then bring down the 0.5x5. Are we clear on that?
Yeah.
So decimals doesn't really matter. Just get to your solution. Make sure you're careful with the signs. This is what I would do when it comes to adding and subtracting. After you put them in standard form, make sure you go left to right. Okay? Now, this is addition, so it's not going to make that much of a difference, but once we start to multiply, it's going to matter. Okay? Okay, let's look at this one. How many terms are in this one, by the way?
3.
There's 3 terms, yes. Now, we're going to put these in standard form, but look what's going to happen here. So, my highest exponent, 2 plus 1, that's to the 3rd degree, right? That one's 2, that one's to the 3rd degree, and this one's also to the 3rd degree, right? So it really doesn't matter in this case. However, we're just going to start adding things together. If you notice, we have this one and we have this one. It's negative and negative, right? And all the variables are the same. x2y, x2y, x2y. So that means we can add this entire thing together. Okay? So this one's 2. This one's minus 1, minus 1. Well, what's 2 minus 1?
1.
What's 2? Excuse me, 2 minus 2.
0.
Amazing work. Yes. So if those variables are attached, it doesn't matter. The answer is 0 at the end of the day. If it ends up being 0. Okay? Any questions on this one? Do we see it? Did I really do anything different with this problem? No. It was already in standard form. The only thing is different, you got to remember, this is a -1 and that's a -1. Well, -1 and -1 is -2, and this one's 2. So this one's going to be 0 when it's all said and done. Okay? Stay turned around, please. Okay. Now, adding. So, notice we have things in parentheses, right? We're going to group these. Remember how we did that in earlier in 7? So we're going to group the actual terms. So we're going to take this one, and we're going to group all the x2's together. So 2x2 and x2. So 2x2 and x2. Okay? Then we're going to group our x's. Minus x, 3x. Minus x, 3x. Then the constant by itself, -1. Okay? Any questions? Adrian, stay with me. So you remember how we grouped our numbers together, we grouped our variables together? This is the same thing when it comes to adding and subtracting. Okay? All we're doing is grouping them together so we can actually subtract them. We're not worried about standard form at this point. However, if you notice, they already are in standard form. Okay, so this is 2 plus 1, 3x, minus x, 2x, minus 2x, and then the -1 is all by itself. This is simplified, we're done. By the way, what is this right here? What is this? Classify it. What is it? Tell me this. What's the name of this?
Triangle property.
Me did.
Oh, excellent. What do you ask?
What's this classified? What's this called? Daisy, stay with me, please.
I'm lost.
What is it again? Well, what's before that? How many degrees is it?
Binomial.
Stop.
Quadratic.
Good.
I know it started with Q.
Yes, quadratic trinomial. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at b right here. So we're going to take all our AB's and put them together. So minus 2AB plus 2AB. Isn't that just 0? Just however they're combined. This is different though when we get to polynomials. These are monomials. Then we're up to polynomials. So right here we're going to group the AB's together. We're going to group the B's together. And we're going to group the A's together. Okay? So minus 2A plus 2A, that's all 0, right? We have 1B, so 1B, and we have 1A, 1A. So this becomes A plus B because this cancels itself out. Do we see that? Let me see thumbs up or down on this, please.
Everything. Like from.
Group. That's what the parentheses are. You're going to group these things together. So the 2AB and the 2AB, I'm grouping them together. Then the B is going to be by itself and the A is by itself. These cancel each other out. All that we have left over is B plus A.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right. So moving over here, now the problems are getting longer. We have a binomial and we have a polynomial, right?
Yeah.
So same exact thing. We're gonna group these together. Okay? So we're gonna start with anything to the 5th degree. So 4b5, 4b5, 3b5, 3b5, minus 7b5, minus 7b5. Come sit up here for me, please. Quickly. Come move up.
Who?
You. There's too much talking going on as I'm going through this lecture. And you're on camera. Oh, amazing. Okay, so we're going to put all the B5s together. Then we're going to put all the B's together because we don't have anything to the power of 2, just 1. So the AB, the 6B, and the B are going in here. Any questions on this first step? We're just grouping, right? We're grouping all the power 5 variables, and we're grouping all the single variables. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter if there's multiple variables or anything like that. We're just grouping them by descending order. Okay? So we can do the math in here. What is 4 plus 3?
7.
Minus 7.
Minus 0.
Okay, so none of this matters, right? Now we're going to focus on this. 8 plus 6 plus 1.
15.
Yep, so we're done, 15b. All this simplified to 15b.
Wow.
Yep. Okay, decimals, not that big of a deal. Same exact rules. We're going to take this y2, the 20.2, y2. We're going to take the 1.7 y2. We're going to group them together. We only have one y by itself. Then we have two constants by themselves, 5 and minus 8. So now we're going to total these up. This is 20.2 plus 1.7, 21.9. And then 6y's by itself, 5 minus 8 minus 3, we're done. This is in standard order. It's simplified. It's finished. We can't do anything more to it. Daisy, please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, subtracting polynomials. This is a little different. You see the minus sign in here?
Yeah.
We're going to change it to plus, okay? Which means we're going to take this minus and we're going to multiply it out and do distributive property, okay? So we're going to take this 4, we're going to multiply it by the 4.
-4.
Yes. So all this in here is going to become minus inside the parentheses plus on the outside. We do that every single time on a minus. You're actually not subtracting, you're adding, okay? So same thing here. We're going to be multiplying it out. But let's come back to this one real quick. After we do this, everything is exactly the same of what we just covered. So literally the only thing that's different is taking that minus and changing the terms. Okay, multiplying it out. So we're going to put our x2's together, 2x2 minus 4x2, in parentheses 6 by itself. Then we can solve this. 2 minus 4 minus 2x2 plus 6, we're done. Okay, what's the difference between a minus? What do we do? This is where you guys want to be paying attention.
Oh, wait, say it again.
What's the difference between minus and adding? What is it that you need to do?
Oh.
Distribute property. You need to get rid of the minus and you need to add. Okay? Then everything is the same. Group it, solve it. Okay, this one, just more terms going on, right? So you want to treat each term as distributive property. So we're going to take this minus, we're going to multiply it by 3a, 4, negative. This is a negative times a negative. It's going to turn a positive. The negative times a positive, negative. Now the negative is out. It's in parentheses, right? Now we're going to group them together. So we have our a4 minus 3a4. We're going to group those together. And then we have our single variables, negative 2a, and 3a. 3a, and the 1's all by itself. Okay?
Yeah.
So simplify. A minus 3 minus 2a. 2a, 3a, that's just a by itself, and then the minus 1, this is all simplified now. Okay? So literally the only difference is taking that the subtraction symbol, doing distributive property, and changing the symbols on the inside to simplify.
Alright.
This one's exactly the same thing, nothing really special in this one. Minus times x2, minus, positive, right? So now we're going to group them together. We have our 3x2 and our minus x2. Group it together. We only have 1 minus 2x, and then our numbers, constants go last, 8 and 4. Notice when we do these, don't these come out in standard form? When you group them, highest to lowest descending, you're naturally going to get it in standard order when it's all said and done. Okay, 3x minus x, 2x. 2x by itself, no math involved, 8 and 4, 12, we're done. What is this thing called?
Standard form.
Well, it's definitely a trinomial. What's my degree? Very good. Okay, last one, same thing. Minus times a z3, minus z3, and then minus positive 5. Go ahead and group them together. We're going to put our 3's, exponent 3's together, our z's together, and our 5. So 11 minus z, 10z. Minus 2z by itself, and then, whoa, where did that come from?
I don't know.
That should not be there.
Why is it there?
I have no idea.
You put it
Oh, yes it is. No, that's good, that's good. So, the 2z is all by itself, and then the 5. This problem's finished. Okay, flip over your notes for a second. So you have your worksheet, but on your worksheet, I'm going to have you guys. Don't worry about 14, but I do want you to do 13. Let me explain what you're doing on 13. You're going to add all those sides together and simplify it, okay? And everything else, exactly what we just covered. I'm not concerned if you follow the steps, but what I want to see I want to see in standard form, grouped, solved, and simplified. Okay? Okay, good talk.
Yeah.
Okay, make miracles happen.
Can I finish the test?